Courage is not an absence of fear. It is a control of fear. It's mastery of fear. The fact is that everyone is afraid, and usually of many things. This is often natural and normal. Often fear is necessary to preserve life, prevent injury, and guard against financial mistakes. So everyone is afraid. So what's the difference between the brave person and the coward? The only difference is that the brave person disciplines himself to confront, deal with, and act in spite of the fear. In contrast, the coward allows himself to be dominated and controlled by the fear. Fortunately, all fears are learned. No one is born with fears. Fears can be unlearned by practicing self-discipline repeatedly with regard to that fear until it goes away. The most common fears that we experience, which often sabotage all hope for success, are the fears of failure, the fear of poverty, the loss of money, and these fears cause people to avoid risk of any kind and to reject opportunity when it's presented to them. They are so afraid of failure that they are almost paralyzed when it comes to taking any chance at all. There are many other fears that interfere with our happiness. People fear the loss of love, the loss of their jobs, their financial security, and people fear embarrassment or ridicule. People also fear rejection and criticisms of any kind. People fear the loss of respect and esteem of others. Now, these and many other fears hold us back throughout our life. The most common reaction in fear situation is the attitude of "I can't." This is the fear of failure and loss that stops us from taking action. It is experienced physically, starting in the solar plexus. When people are really afraid, their mouth and throat go dry, their heart starts pounding. Sometimes they breathe shallowly and their stomach actually churns. Often they feel like getting up and running to the bathroom. These are all physical manifestations of the inhibitive negative habit pattern, which we all experience from time to time. Whenever a person is in the grip of fear, he feels like a deer caught in the headlights of a car. This fear paralyzes the action. It often shuts down the brain and causes the individual to revert to the fight or flight action. Fear is a terrible emotion that undermines our happiness and can hold us back throughout our lives. Aristotle described the courage as the golden mean between the extremes of cowardice and impetuousness. He taught that to develop a quality that you lack, act as if you've already had that quality in every situation where it's called for. In modern terms, however, we say, fake it until you make it. You can actually change your behavior by affirming, visualizing, and acting as if you already have the quality that you desire. By affirming, by repeating the words "I can do" emphatically whenever you feel afraid for any reason, you can actually cancel the feeling "I can't." Every time you repeat the words "I can do" with conviction, you override your fear and increase your confidence. By repeating this affirmation over and over again, you can actually eventually build your courage and confidence to the point where you become totally unafraid. Keep saying "I can do it." Yes, you can do it. By visualizing yourself performing with confidence and competence in the area where you are fearful, your visual image will eventually be accepted by your subconscious mind as instructions for your performance. Your self-image, the way you see yourself and think about yourself, is eventually altered by feeding your mind these positive mental pictures of yourself performing at your best. By using the act as if method, you walk, you talk, you carry yourself exactly as if you were completely unafraid in a particular situation. You stand up straight, you smile, you move quickly and confidently, and in every respect act as if you already had the courage that you desire. The law of reversibility says if you feel in a certain way, you will act in a manner consistent with that feeling. If you act in a manner consistent with that feeling, even if you don't feel it, the law of reversibility will create the feeling that is consistent with your actions. This is one of the greatest breakthroughs in success psychology. You develop the courage you desire by disciplining yourself repeatedly to do the thing you fear until the fear eventually disappears. And it will. In sales organizations, a simple formula that is guaranteed to work every single time is called the 100 call method. In practicing this method, the salesman calls 100 prospects as fast as he can without caring at whether or not he is making a sale. When the salesperson doesn't care if he makes a sale, his fear of rejection largely disappears. He stops caring if the prospect he is speaking to is interested or not interested. He has a single focus. And what is that? To make 100 calls as fast as possible as he can. So everyone's fear of rejection have been blown away out of their systems. They are ready to call on prospects all day long, not caring all about the reactions they get. Your ability to confront, deal with, and act in spite of your fears is the key to happiness and success. One of the best exercises you can practice is to identify a person or a situation in your life of which you are afraid and resolve to deal with that fear situation immediately. Do not allow it to make you unhappy for any another minute. Resolve to confront that situation or that person and put that fear behind you. A woman in one of my seminars told that her boss was a very negative person. He was constantly criticizing and berating her about her work, even though she was one of the highest rated employees in the organization. He was making her life miserable. She didn't want to give up her job, but she was afraid of confronting him. She asked me what she should do. I gave her this advice, which I have subsequently given to many other people. The only reason that one person bullies another, he feels he can get away with it. The only way to deal with a bully is to confront him. Bullies are actually cowards at heart, and they will flee from confrontation. I told her to do this. The next time your boss criticizes you for any reason, turn to him and say quite firmly, "I would appreciate if you not talk to me like that ever again. It hurts my feelings and stops me from doing my job the way you want me to." I told her to look him straight into the eye after she had finished making the statement. She had tremendous courage. Rather than putting up with the situation any longer, the next time her boss began to berate her, she squared off with him and said those words. And then later she called me and told me what had happened. Just as I predicted, he stopped dead in his tracks. He immediately apologized and mumbled and then quickly went back to his office. He never criticized her again. She told me that she could have ended this bad treatment of her many months before if she had only the courage to confront him directly the first time it happened. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, "No one can make you feel inferior without your consent." Oh, I would want to repeat this. No one can make you feel inferior without your consent. When you identify fear, discipline yourself to move towards it. It grows smaller and more manageable. What's more, as your fear grows smaller, your confidence grows. Soon your fears lose their control over you. In contrast, when you back away from a fear-inducing situation or a person, your fear grows larger and larger. Soon it dominates your thinking and feeling, preoccupies you during the day, often keeps you awake at night. In leadership, the most common quality is that of vision. Leaders have a clear vision of where they want to take their organization. Leaders also have a clear vision of where they want to be sometime in the future in their personal lives as well. The second most common quality of the leaders is of that of courage. Leaders have the courage to do whatever is necessary to fulfill that vision. They lead from the front and dare to go forward. There are two types of courage that you need. First, you need the courage to launch, to take action, to take the leap of faith. You need the courage to go all in without any guarantee of success and with a high possibility of failure, at least in the short term. The major failing that holds most people back is that, in spite of their best intentions, they don't have the courage to take the first step. The second type of courage that you need is called the courageous patience. This is the ability to hang in there and continue working and fighting after you've gone all in and before you have yet seen any results or rewards. Many people can muster up this courage to take action towards a new goal. But when they see no immediate result, they quickly lose heart and pull back to safety and security. They don't have the staying power. The only way to deal with the fear is to address it head on. Remind yourself that denial is not a river in Egypt. The natural tendency of many people is to deny that they have a problem caused by fear of some kind. They are afraid of confronting it. In turn, it becomes a major source of stress, unhappiness, and a psychosomatic illness. Be willing to deal with the situation or person directly. As Shakespeare said, take arms against a sea of troubles and in so doing, end them. The companion of fear is worry. Like twin sisters, fear and worry go around together. Mark Twain once wrote, I worried about a lot of things in life and most of those things never happened. It has been estimated that 99% of things that you worry about never happen. And most of the things that do happen so quickly that you don't have time to worry about them in the first place. In my next video, we'll talk about how to form a disaster report when you're worried or scared. So please don't forget to subscribe down below. Click on the bell icon to receive alerts as well. Until we meet in my next awesome talk, I'm Dr. Caroline Pritish with you on Learn with Carol.